you love beauty, and I love that it comes across,
Mm-hmm.
and you're so passionate about what you do, and that's what I think makes your content so compelling. So tell me about like your love of beauty and kind of how you got to this place.
I think growing up, I grew up in India,
Mm-hmm.
and men don't usually in India like touch makeup. Like even back in the day, like my mom was not allowed to wear makeup. Yeah, like society used to judge. You don't really wear makeup unless like you're a movie star. That was the mindset, let's say 30 years ago. So I was into drawing and art. Like I used to paint and stuff, right? And my mom used to allow me to like do makeup on her face, like whatever we had. Like I'll double up a lipstick as a blush, as everything basically.
Yep.
But she would let me do that, but we like hide it away from our dad. Like we won't tell dad. So my summer holidays was basically like doing her makeup on my cousins. Whatever I was learning in art, I was trying to do it on the face. And I didn't realize, I never even used to think of it as beauty. I was like, oh, I'm just playing. I'm just like painting my mom's face. And I think that's where it actually started. Like my mother, now I looking back, I feel like she had such a big role to play in all of my passions. Like everything that I'm passionate about, I remember her nudging me to do more of that.
Aww.
And beauty was one such thing. Like usually most parents would be like, you're a guy, you're not supposed to be into makeup, right? But she was always like, play with it, that's okay.
Aww.
Like you don't have to tell anyone else. Like if you think you can do something with that lipstick, do it. And I feel like I'm so grateful that she did that.
Yeah.
Because if she didn't, I probably would not be here today.
Oh, that's really beautiful though.
Yeah.
I literally, I'm such a crybaby.
Me
I
too.
literally
I got
cry all the
emotional
time.
saying that.
I like have tears because I'm thinking about my son,
Yes.
and like I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I would feel the same way, and it's
Yeah.
like you know, encouraging your kids to do something that makes them happy
Yep.
is such a beautiful thing.
Yep,
and
it is.
and especially when it's something that might go at the time against the
Norm.
status quo.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really beautiful. Like what a beautiful moment and memory you have from your mom of
Yeah.
like starting this
Yes.
passion. So the painting thing checks out. You're like, yes, that makes total sense how that can transition into beauty and loving beauty. When did you get to a point where you were like, this is something that like I'm pursuing, I'm actively doing, I'm starting to wear makeup every day?
I still don't feel that I'm there, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I think what happened is that right before COVID, I quit my job because I was like, I'm going to go on a world tour. Boom, everything shuts down.
What did you do before?
Okay, here's a little bit
Yes.
of background for you, right? This will be interesting. I have a bachelor's in biotechnology, a master's in microbiology, and business analytics. I started my journey with AIG, then I worked for Morgan Stanley. And then COVID happened and I started to play with makeup. And so I went from like a risk management guy to a makeup guy. And then I started to work with one more company, Fannie Mae. And basically I was balancing both. Makeup was just a hobby, even during COVID and all that. But I started posting more about it. And social media kind of like picked up on it and they were like, oh, we love it. Like there's a brown guy who's not from US, has a different perspective because he grew up in a different country. And now he's here. And people started to take notice. So it got to a point where I was like, okay, I can only do one. And which one do I pick? And obviously it was makeup. Like I think it's very, very recently. I actually quit my full-time job this last year, March. So not even like a whole year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
That's when the transition happened.
What a background.
I know.
That is like, my eyes are like, that is incredible though. Yeah. And was that something that you always wanted to do when you were like going, like, what was your, like, well, that's what I'm so interested in. Like, what was your future? Did you do that because you felt like it's what you should do?
Yeah, of course. Like if you're Indian, I'm just going to say it, like you're either a doctor or a lawyer. If you can't become a doctor, you become a biotechnologist. Because the next best thing is like in science, like you go into biotechnology. So I don't think my parents forced me. I think it was in my head that I wanted to become a doctor so bad.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't keep up. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to do engineering.
Yeah.
I'm going to become an engineer. And then I want to stay in the science field. So I was like, okay, biotech, because I used to love bio.
Yeah.
Like I was that guy who could memorize stuff like salmonella, this virus, that virus. I was all about it, right? But I think makeup was always there in the back of my mind. It was not till I made money on my own in US that I could actually buy it and not feel judged by other people and actually do makeup. So when I was working here in US, I started to buy makeup and do makeup on my friends because I was still shy about applying makeup on myself. Funny story I always say is that my first thing from makeup that I ever wore was the Clinique Black Honey. And my friend put me onto that. And I used that because it wasn't really makeup. I could justify it as a lip balm. So I was like, oh, it's just a lip balm. Because I was actually coming to terms with the fact that I'm a guy. I'm still in the closet and I want to wear makeup. How do I justify this?
Yep.
So that's where it started.
Yep.
So it's been a long time coming for me to realize that makeup is my true passion.
Yeah. Wow. What a beautiful journey,
Thank
though.
you.
That is amazing. Like, I really commend you. All of those things are hard things to move forward with in the in sense, like dealing with them and figuring out who you are. Those are big moments in your journey, and you did them. And like, I can imagine, like, you know, sitting here with you is really cool because it's like, these are things that you've accomplished and that you've
When you
found
put
on
it
your
that
own.
way,
yeah,
I like it.
it's there. Those are not easy things to work through. And
I think
it
it's
takes a
more
really strong
internal.
person.
Like first you have to come to terms with it yourself and be like, okay. And nothing should be that hard in life.
No,
I personally
no.
feel. I think it's a society that makes it hard.
Are you